Live. What's up?
Live. We are live.
What's up, people?
By, guys, I appreciate it. Troy at Mountain Man Treasure. We got Calvin with the Kelly Hustle in
What's
tonight.
up? How's it going?
Stopping by. Looks like we've got a few people in here. Like usual, we'll kind of hang out until people show up. Kat has her premieres always going at this time. So
yeah,
depending on how long her premiere is, we'll get a people filter in here in 15 minutes or something. But it looks like we got some folks in here. We got Cajun in here. Nana's in here.
What up, Cajun?
Nikki, Joey Bada is in here. I told him he shaved off the Bing 22. He's Joey Bada now. Mark is in here. I'm gonna team up with Mark here pretty quick and do a video. That guy found some Levi's that are going nuts on eBay right now. The last Mark, where is that at? Because I looked this afternoon. He's got a pair of vintage, not even Big E, guys. These are just says Levi's. Vintage button snap, red line selvage. Looks like they're just off of the store shelf in the 1970s. They were up to $400 this afternoon.
Jeez.
With 3 days left.
Jeez.
So, Mark, that's I don't insane. Know where those are at, but I want to get together and do a video and kind of teach people, because we all know to look for the Big E, but these aren't Big E's. So I think a lot of people might have walked past them. So we definitely got to do that. Calvin, do you do much clothes? Or do you do shoes?
I do shoes. I do clothes, specific pieces. Like I go vintage, like T-shirts I'm huge on. I'll look for those. Jerseys, for the most part, things like that. I mean, I don't do like the common jeans or like, shirts. I definitely don't know any women's clothes. So I started out doing clothes, but I kind of ventured away from clothes. So certain pieces I'll do, but I don't buy too many clothes at all.
Okay. Looks like they're telling me I got to jump. Am I jumping on your end, Calvin?
I can hear you clear, but you're like stuck in the.
That's weird.
Video's like really pixelated.
Let me bounce out and bounce back in. I don't know what that'll do to you, Calvin.
Yeah.
It might jump out, but you guys, let me see if I can jump off and jump back in, just so you don't have a garbage signal in that. I don't know what's going on. 1 sec.
All right. Yo, am I solo? What's up? I think I'm solo. Let me hold down the fort. How you guys doing today? Sales good? Up, down? On a Monday? My man Joey was good with it, bro. Should have kept that. You should have kept your stash, bro. The big, thick one, man. You got the good mustache. Nana, sales are great. Awesome. Mine aren't too good. I got about 4 sales today, but nothing major. Sideways. Yeah, I think I need I just been on eBay for, just doing eBay for a while. So I signed up for all there it goes. Oh, much better.
Is that
much better? Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what's going on. I could have just left it and let you just take charge of the thing. I trust you. Yeah, guys, I apologize for that. I was telling Calvin before the show, I got to get a better. I'm just using an onboard webcam as well, so I got to get better lighting, better webcam. It's baby step.
I think now that you came back in, I mean, the picture quality is a lot better. I think lighting. I would just start out trying some lighting.
I need lighting. Yeah, I'm in my garage. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not bad actually though. Yeah. I would just try lighting, and then if you don't like the quality, then probably check out a camera. But if I didn't have my phone, I would be using my laptop, and my laptop camera sucks. So.
Yeah, and I think that's what this is. The sound is pretty good on this laptop, but I think the visual is not. But Calvin, would you just kind of introduce? I mean, I think folks in here know who you are, but for folks that come in and watch this down the road, would you kind of explain who you are and what it is that you do?
Yeah, so pretty much Calvin, the Kelly Hustle is my channel, YouTube, all across all the social media platforms, the Kelly Hustle. So pretty much, I've been reselling now going on a year and a half. And so that's what I do. Started out as part-time, I've been an entrepreneur, I've had a couple of businesses, detailing businesses and headlight restoration businesses back when I was in San Diego. So I've always been an entrepreneur. So I moved from San Diego to Iowa 3 years ago. And I'm born and raised in San Diego. So it was a complete different thing for me. But I did that so I can lower my cost of living and kind of, again, fill that void of entrepreneurship. So I came out here. And I was kind of initially, when I started researching like online businesses, I was geared towards and gravitating towards Shopify and drop shipping and doing all that stuff. On YouTube, you start clicking on one video after another, you kind of go down that tunnel, and started getting more into this reselling thing and eBay and Amazon and all that stuff. I kind of vaguely was hearing about eBay and had to look stuff up from Gary Vee a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And whenever I went to a random thrift store, I'd kind of look at comps and stuff, but never sold anything. So then when I finally moved to Iowa, again, finally watched some videos. I think the first people I came across was Rally Roots, and started setting up my store. And it kind of just went from there. Initially, I was just like, if I could get eBay going and I could make an extra $500 a month, that would be awesome. That would be the game. But, once you get into it and you see, especially sourcing and finding stuff out there, you see the potential and how much money you can make, and how, I don't want to say easy, but to get to $500 a month, if you put in the work consistently, $500, you could do that no problem. So it's all started from there, and then it kind of just, it's a trickle effect. So you fast forward to now, and I'm actually doing it full time. So I'm not making. Have you been
serious about eBay then? Like, how long have you actually been like, I'm going to do eBay?
Yeah. So when I first got into it, again, I just wanted $500, and I was into it. Every chance I got, I was sourcing, I was, listing stuff. Then finally I upgraded and got a store, did the 100 item store. Up until it was March 13th, was actually my last day of working for a company. And me and my wife talked about it, a couple of weeks leading into that. She was getting a promotion at her job, and she knew I was unhappy where I was at. And she's seen, what I was doing just part-time and not really, putting as much time into it as I could have. She said, if you want to do this, we'll kind of reverse roles. I'll, in a sense, be the breadwinner.
Yeah.
And you can, kind of grow your eBay business. And so I said, awesome. That's what I'm going to do. So I would say probably, I would say I've always been serious, but now that I'm full-time, I've kicked it up another notch. So
where did YouTube come in then?
YouTube, just one of those things. Like, I always wanted to do some sort of content, and it wasn't even necessarily in the reselling world. It was just more like, I want to create content. And the thing that was stopping me from creating content, I was self-conscious. I thought I always sounded dumb, looked funny in front of camera and stuff like that. So I kept telling everyone, I want to create content. I want to create content. And it got to the point to where, you tell somebody something long enough, they're just like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Right.
Finally, I just took the plunge. I think when I first started putting up content is when I first met Kat. And so, that's when I started. Once you make that first video, you kind of shake all that nervousness out, and then it kind of just goes from there, man.
Was that first video terrible though? I think we all think like, man, that first video was so bad.
Yeah, I think I'm like 30 videos in. So I'm still fresh, even sometimes now. I know I'm a lot better as far as editing goes, but even up to this point, I still think my videos are a little garbage, and they'll get better. But yeah, the first video is just, I don't know, just throw something up. But yeah, no, so obviously if I'm doing this all the time, and I listen to a lot of Gary Vee, and Gary Vee is more so into like, don't don't try to be so don't try to create as much, just more document. And if I'm doing this every day anyways, I might as well just document what I'm doing. So of course, there's editing, and you try to plan stuff out because you don't want to just have your watchers get bored or whatever the case is. But yeah, so I try to just document as much and not be so much like creative or like creative. I don't know if that's a word.
Yeah. You guys, if you're not subscribed to Calvin, I looked. He's got 338 subs. That's not nearly enough.
Get me up there. I need to go up.
Subscribe to Calvin. He's fantastic. He's already got some garage sale videos, and we're going to talk about a couple of those. But one thing that sticks out, man, you've got 338 subs. You've got like 30 videos. You're new. You got a theme song, man.
Yeah. So, yes, I think the first video I dropped was in January, and I didn't have any theme songs or anything like that. But my cousin, he's been doing music. I think I'm 37. I forget how old I am sometimes, but he's been doing music since we were teenagers, and we're the same age. And all the background music you hear in my videos, like all that stuff, like he makes all of it. And I told him, I was like, hey cousin, like I need an intro song. Like, can you help me out? And he was like, yeah, I got you. So he sent me a couple of instrumentals. He was like, which one you like? I was like, well, yeah, just use that one. And then, just do you put your little magic touch on it. And he sent me the track, and I was blown away. And everyone that hears it, I mean, that's like pretty much the consensus. Like that intro is dope. So
it's so cool because it's so simple, but it's like an earworm, man. Like
it's almost like a chant. It's like a chant, So it is simple, and I did my own intro like on my editing program, so it's not the greatest, but I put awesome. That all. I put that all together, man. So I'm
gonna hire you and your cousin to build me something. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Man. Let me know.
Put together a trailer.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
What did you know, Calvin, coming into this thing? I think we all have areas where at least we're kind of familiar with something, and you kind of gravitate toward that when you start off.
Yeah.
You do a lot of video games. Were you kind of a guy that knew about that to start off, or?
Nah. So when I started off, like, again, I didn't really know anything about the reselling world. Vaguely, everyone, kind of growing up and just doing whatever, you always see garage sales and stuff like that. I did know when I was in high school, my buddy's dad literally had his garage filled with like a bunch of like stuff from China, just like, excuse me, for condoms and just all types of cheap stuff. And my buddy was literally having to take packages to the post office every day for his dad. So that's I kind of seen back then, like, damn, I mean, you could actually do pretty good on eBay, and he wasn't doing anything else but that. But kind of when I first took interest into it to do it on my own, I didn't know anything, man. I didn't really, have any expertise in any product. So I just kind of followed the Rally Roots blueprint of finding cool clothes. And I learned fast that
Tommy Bahama. That's what you went out there to do.
Tommy Bahama, Ralph Lauren, stuff like that. And I quickly learned that that's not the game.
No,
that is not the game. So I kind of, once I got a hold of Cincinnati Picker, hard goods became it. But yeah, no, I mean, I love hard goods, and, to answer your question in regards to the games, obviously the more content you watch, games are, especially, older games, they're kind of, nostalgia kicks in, and people, they're always going to be a popular thing. But once this whole, virus kicked off and you started seeing the game prices rise, I had a couple of Wiis that were just sitting in my death pile, and I seen what they were going for. And I was like, I got to get these things listed. And that kind of just started the momentum to all the games I started finding, which is, I've been killing in games lately.
Well, the Wii used to be a year ago. The Wii was what, 20, 25 bucks?
Yeah. If you had two controllers in a game, you'd probably get 50, 60 out of it, Yeah.
And the Wii Sports disc used to be a solid 10 to 12 bucks.
Yeah.
Like it's quick, but it was 10 to 12 bucks. And now it's 30.
Yeah, 30. And it just took off. I was actually looking because again, I'm always scouring Facebook Marketplace now. But I was looking, I seen a Wii last night, and I would never pull the trigger. It was $100, but I was like, I always in my mind, I can always talk someone down. I'm always looking at talking someone down. So I was like, let me look at the comps and see what the market is right now. And it's dipped a little bit. It's dipped a little bit. There's still money there, but you can tell that 2 weeks ago to now, it's gone down a little bit.
Yeah, don't go out and buy puzzles now. It ain't gonna work.
No. I'm glad I didn't.
Video games still might be it though.
Video games are still good. They're still good. You can tell. Again, like just with the Wii alone, the Wii dipped a little, but there's still money there for sure. You just got to get it at the right price.
I posted just because I wanted to see what would happen. I found 2 GameCube games today at Goodwill. I posted them, didn't promote them, just put them up. I put them up an hour and a half ago. One's got 12 views and one's got 8. They've been up there for like an hour and 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm selling even common games, like common PS2 games right now. They're not going to sell for much, but I had 2 PS2 games go out today that I took to post offices that were common, $5.99, $10.99 games, but those are even going right now. So if you got games, you got to get them listed right now. Take advantage,
I want to play. I want to see if I can play for people that don't know Calvin's. We talked about the theme song. I think I can share it here. Let me see if this works. I want to share my screen. Chrome tab. Here we go. There it is. All right. I think this is your latest, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my latest video.
How much would you do the whole box of jewelry for? $10
the definition of front.
The Cali hustle.
Oh, I glitched out. It always does that. But you get the idea.
Oh yeah.
How cool is that? This guy's got his own theme song. I want to talk about video games with you and about this. It might be my favorite negotiation a very long time was you with that video game guy, because you knew you were basically getting those for nothing. This is a couple videos ago. Calvin shows up and there's this big box of games, and guy says they're $1 a piece. Like already that's a steal.
Woo, woo, woo. Yep.
and Calvin has like 4 dozen games. And he's like, oh, I want that and that and that and that. And the guy's like, what did he was like $54. Guy was like, guy goes, nope.
Nope.
He goes, well, there's $47 piece. That's 47 games. He goes, well, I know. I was kind of like, I was hoping maybe like
a bundle deal. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So that guy's actually pretty cool. How did I come across him? So while I found that garage sale, because I went out to a town the night before, I seen something on Facebook saying they're putting stuff in their lawn, they're getting rid of stuff for free. So I was like, let me go grab some stuff. So I got all that free stuff, and as I'm going home, I see a garage sale sign. So that garage sale sign led me to my last video where I got all that jewelry. So as I'm leaving that garage sale, I go to this game garage sale.
Right.
And I was going to pass it up because it just looked like a bunch of old stuff. I'm not really, I don't really have an eye for that. But I was like, you know what? It's a garage sale. Let me hop out. Got to hop out. So I got out and I was kind of looking around on the table. And then he says, I got a bunch of totes I still got to bring out. But, I got some PlayStation games and all that. So, I instantly went down to that tub and I started seeing games that aren't common. I started seeing graphics and titles like, I don't know what these are. I don't know the worth, but I know they're worth something.
Right.
Especially right now, if I'm getting them for $1, I'll take a chance. And so I just started grabbing. And I think there was a few games that I grabbed. They were too scratched up, so that they didn't work out too good. But I got some other stuff like some 3M tape and some DVDs. Everything for $45. But once I got home and I started looking up some of them games. I was just like, I scored.
Yeah, you had like $50, $60 games in there.
So I broke it down. So of all the games that worked, I had 22 games that were in like the $5 to $10 range. I had 3 games that $20 to $30 range, and then I had 6 games that were in the $50 to $75 range. And so I've probably gone through like 5 of the $5 to $10, and I have 2 left of the $50 to $75 games, and all the $20 to $30 games are gone.
Wow.
So
yeah.
So
I loved that thing from front to end, the way you found it. And then
you
know you're getting these for nothing, and you try to wheedle him down even more. And then finally the guy's stuck at 47 and he goes, "Did you take 45?"
Yeah.
Like you needed to save you had to win.
Yeah, man. So again, entrepreneur, but I'm a salesman. Like I love sales naturally. I've sold cars. My last job before this one I just quit, I mean, I was a sales rep at Verizon. So, I'm always looking to will and deal. Like there's sometimes, you don't even want to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I would say, no matter where you go, especially garage sales, like always shoot an offer. Like put stuff together, make a pile, and then shoot an offer. If they add it up, let them add it up, and they say $20, like, would you do 15? Always ask, because I mean, it never hurts to get that extra savings. That just counts more towards your profit. So, and again, even if you are,
I want to mention something you did in there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I see Chris though had asked what games I got. I actually got them here because I listed them. We got Scalar, which is apparently a pretty hard to find GameCube game. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the manual, so that's a bummer. But we got the game. So that's so good because people are selling just the game itself for like $10. Nice. And then we got Dragon Ball Z Sagas, and it does have the manual. So I think these are both pretty good games. $2.99. So
nice. And GameCube, I think GameCube games in general are solid sellers anyways. So no matter what market. Yeah,
but there was thing, and I don't know if this is something that you do like consciously or if it's just something that just happened during that negotiation, but I think it's valuable for people watching, is you made a pile of stuff at this guy's garage sale. He gave you a price you didn't necessarily like, and you said, okay, what if we take off that game? It was like a board game or something, or he said, what if we take off that game? Now what is it? Is that something you did like intentionally or?
Yeah, no, I always, so when I pile stuff up, and I had no clue about the games, but that board game, I had just really had no clue about it. And so I was like, I'm not going to pay that extra to get a game that I really don't know and really didn't want. I was just more so doing it as a throw-in.
Right.
So I said, just go ahead and take that out. I kind of have an idea and a price point where I want to be depending on what I got. And usually when I get a lot of stuff like that, I'm always looking for those, 1, 2 to 3 items that's going to cover the whole buy, because I know once I sell those, it's all profit from there. And it makes me mentally, it just gives me a better feeling. Anytime I spend money, I'm cheap and I'm frugal. So I'm nervous about money. So anytime I spend money, I'm always looking to save that extra dollar, or, again, just try to get the odds more in my favor. But again, overall, I can't really complain with the deal that I got. So.
Oh no, not at all. I folks that are going out to garage sales, if folks are catching this that are new, one, negotiating is sort of intimidating initially.
It can be,
but it's actually a lot of fun. And I think that was a really smart thing that you did. Is you could see that he didn't value those games. They're $1 a piece. He didn't care.
Oh yeah.
And so you put something on there that was priced higher that he did see a value in. And so then when you didn't like that deal, you said, okay, that thing that you really see value in, let's take that out of the equation. Now how much? And so now the very thing that he thinks is, that's worth a lot. Now he's subtracting something that you didn't even care about in the first place.
Didn't. Nope.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's a brilliant way to do it.
Yeah, no, usually that's what I do. Again, if I hit a garage sale, and usually I say within the first minute, you can walk up to a garage sale and you can kind of see like, all right, this is going to be a good one. So let me, especially if there's a lot of people, you kind of got to be efficient and grab and hold. But yeah, no matter where I go, I'll start a pile. And then once you start that pile, you know, again, they'll add it up for the most part. Or even if you add it up, like I got $23 here. And then they'll add it up $23 and like, would you do 15? You always got to shoot, you know, lower than what they're paying it for. For the most part, most garage sale,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. For the most part, most people are doing garage sales. They're more so just doing them to be outside, kind of, you know, be friendly and, you know, get rid of some junk that they got laying around the house. So they're willing to, you know, give you great deals, which there's no, don't get me wrong. I love thrift stores and stuff like that, but you're not going to get better deals anywhere than going to a garage sale. I mean, it's flat out the truth.
No, your return on investment at garage sales, I mean, that's what's going to make your year for
Insane.
you. Yeah. One thing that you said, like you said, you know, you can walk up to a garage sale and tell if there's value there. But I think it's interesting that your latest, when you walked, that garage sale looked like, right? Like, I mean, there was not that much stuff there, but you ended up bringing home a box of jewelry that had gold in it.
Gold. So
I mean, I think that's just a testament to, you know, even at those garage sales that look basically, you know, garbage, at least look.
Yep.
Because you've found some literal gold there.
Oh yeah. So there was a few kind of just like okay items that I got. I was just itching to spend money, and a few hats and some vintage cookware and stuff like that, books, and just that stuff alone was $10. And I was just, again, I was itching to spend money and be at a garage sale. It was fun. But I eyeballed the jewelry is one of the first things that I seen, and typically I would have never thought about getting into jewelry. But of course, you know, when you talk to Kat a lot and you see what she's doing with jewelry, now it registers in my mind. And so when I seen that box of jewelry, there's a sign on it that said $1 a piece. Mm-hmm. So I passed it up, and you know, and I knew I was going to make an offer at the end. You know, I was just going to wait. So I started looking around. They had a few items in there that were like, I don't know where they came across or whatever the case was, but there were a bunch of new items, and you know, they had kind of like almost retail prices going on them, and then they had some regular garage sale stuff going on them. So I was like, it's not going to be the greatest sale in the world, but I'll find some stuff that I'll make money on. And then towards the end, like I said, I just pulled the trigger on that box, and you know, asked how much, and she said $10, and I was like, that's enough for me right there. I'm good. I don't even need to negotiate, you know. So
you got a co-star that just popped in. Can
I?
I was waiting to see
what are you doing?
Peeked around. Yeah. One thing I want to talk with you about, guys, and thanks for coming in. We've got like 34 people in here now. We do have. I'm going to give something away tonight because we're up past 700 now, and we actually had a couple things during the 500 giveaway that people never claimed. You guys, I still want to give them out to watchers. So I'm going to go here in a little bit. So hang out. You are doing really, really well on Facebook deals. Explain to people, because I think we all know in general, like, oh, there's stuff on Facebook and you buy it, right? But I don't know how you're doing it, but you are finding killer deals on there. I want to talk about your brand new in the box weed here in a little bit, but just in general, how do you do it? How are you finding these deals on Facebook?
Yeah, so I mean, you know, initially, I've never been a fan of Facebook Marketplace. You know, I had a few things that I sold on there, but it was never something that I was looking at. Like, I never thought of it as a way to source, and even a way to sell, unless it was something bigger. And I just knew I was going to take less money for it. I was like, let's just get rid of it. But you know, obviously, with everything that's going on, you got to adjust, and you got to find ways. And it was getting to the point to my death pile was kind of getting, you know, short there. And so I was like, you know what, I I see people out there finding stuff on Facebook. Let me give it a true shot. And lo and behold, man, it's literally, you just got to keep your eyes on it. You got to keep your eyes on Facebook, on the marketplace, because yeah, there's probably certain areas that are a little more rural, and I'm in a rural area, but so there's some exceptions. But man, if you keep your eyes on Facebook Marketplace, that's the game. That's the key. You got to keep your eyes on it. So usually how I do it, I wake up in the morning, first thing in the morning, I go straight to Facebook Marketplace. Before I go to bed, I go on Facebook Marketplace, because if you see deals on there within an hour, within 2 hours, if it's good and you know you can make money on it, you got to act quick, because there's other resellers out there.
Yeah.
And even if they're not a reseller, someone's going to see it and they may want it and they just say, oh, that's a good deal, I'm going to take it. But the good deals go fast. So I figured out quickly that if you look more often than not, you're going to find the deals. But you gotta act fast, because they'll go quick on Facebook Marketplace. So yeah. I started doing that, and it's been good. It's been solid.
Yeah, you got it. You're right. Like ours tends to not be great. There's a lot of people on there that are wanting essentially retail.
Yeah, and that's most part.
Then when the stuff pops up that's good, it's. I mean, there's sometimes where I've messaged 15 minutes after something was posted, and they're like, "Oh yeah, sorry, it's sold."
Yeah. 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 No, that's how I thought. Like initially, like whenever I went on Facebook Marketplace, I was like, man, I can't source. Like there's people that want eBay prices, you know, they're taking horrible pictures with feet in them and, you know, dirty carpets. And I'm just like, you can't get, I mean, I'm not hating on them, but how do you expect to get full retail price when your pictures are horrible and stuff like that? So I was always discouraged by it. And so I barely put any time to it. But again, it's a quantity. You got to look, you know, for every hour of looking, you might find a deal. And even if you find a deal, they may not be willing to, you know, it might be sold, or, you know, you even try to sweeten a deal and they may not be willing to do it. So, but you just got to look. Like there's a deal I just got. So on May 1st, I seen a lot of 10 Monster High dolls, and the lady wanted 50. And if there's 10 of them, I know usually they go for about $10 to $15 a pop, and even more depending on the figure. And so I knew I could have made my money even if I bought them at 50. But I said, hey, would you do this for 30? She was like, no way. She was like, I'll do for 40. And she wasn't in my town, so it would have been a drive. I was like, well, you know, if I'll do 35. She was like, nope, somebody already offered us 35. I'll take 40. I was like, well, all right, I'll just kind of hold off for now. And she was like, yeah, I got people in line waiting. So I was like, all right. So probably May 6th comes around, still seeing them post. I was like, would you take 35? She was like, yep, I'll take 35. So
yeah,
keep your eye on deals too. I forget who I was watching. But they had some really good advice. If you see a deal on Marketplace and you shoot them an initial offer, obviously there's some things you want to take advantage of right away. But if it's one of those items that you kind of see as like on the fence, like I could do with or without it, even though it could be good money, I'll do with or without it. Hang on to those conversations, because if you see them listed, you know, a week after you made that initial offer, well, now they may be willing to come down. So always go back and check your messages and see stuff that's still out there, because again, it was 6 days later and I finally got the deal that I wanted.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's a great tip.
Yeah. So Facebook Marketplace.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Facebook Marketplace, again, it's just a game of being on there and keeping your eyes on it. And that's what the game is.
Steve-O asking, what are you looking for on Facebook? I mean, do you go look for, you know, niches that you know, or are you just a wide net? Are you just trolling?
I'm just scrolling. If I'm scrolling and I kind of got an idea, like it's almost like going to a garage sale and you're sitting in your chair, you know. So you scroll and if you see something, say, "Hi, that looks valuable. Let me go comp it out real quick," and I'll comp it out. And if I see the numbers are there, boom, I go right back and shoot them an offer. So again, there's certain things like the games right now, you just know. Like
Mhm.
with the Wii's, you know, right off the top of your head. You don't even got to comp them out. Well, now, so you got to comp them out a little bit because the market, again, is down a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I'm just comping stuff out. If I see something that looks valuable to me, I'll comp it out. If the numbers work, I put it on the offer. So
Treasure Retriever asking, are there certain times of day that's better than others to be checking on Facebook Marketplace?
yeah, like I said,
Or you just
for
on there all
me,
day long?
yeah. So I always make it a conscious effort to look now, but I would say first thing in the morning, check, because there's people that post this stuff late at night when everyone's sleeping that, you know, people aren't looking at those yet. So check first thing in the morning and then check right before you go to bed. Because again, those are times where people are listing stuff and not many eyes are on them. More so in the bulk middle part of the day, that's when you're going to have to be more active on there. A couple of days ago, I missed out on a deal. It was a Wii, the red edition with the box, like 3 controllers, 10 games. They wanted $50 for it. And I went on there, messaged them right away because it had been listed 3 hours prior to me seeing it. And it was already sold. And I was like, shit, because lately there hasn't been a 3-hour span that I let Marketplace, for the most part, Marketplace just go on without me looking at it. So when I missed out on that deal, I was like, I missed out. And with the box and everything, that was a $250 flip right there. So I beat myself up a little bit on it, but I was like, I'll get it back.
Yeah, but it's worth mentioning too that, like, just because something has been sitting on there for a long time,
yeah,
if you see it and you think it's good, message them still. Like I found a vintage Def Leppard concert shirt from the 90s.
Nice, yeah.
This guy, turns out he buys just storage lockers. He didn't know what he had.
Yeah.
He just had a Def Leppard t-shirt.
Yeah.
And when I found it, I just saw it on there. It had been listed for 6 days. There's no way that's still there, right?
No,
and I was like, hey, you don't still have that t-shirt. And he had it listed for $20, which is already a steal.
A steal, yeah.
And I was like, you don't have that still, do you? He's like, oh, yeah, I still have it. Are you interested? And it turned out it was just the lighting. I thought there was like a bleach stain on it or something.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it looks like there's a spot on the back. I'm interested, but with that spot, I don't know. Would you do 15 on it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll do that. And he actually showed up.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, I looked, because I had asked him, I said, is that, you couldn't tell in the pictures. I said, is that single stitch or is it a reproduction?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I don't know. How would you tell? And I was like, well, you look at the sleeve, or what is the tag? I said, better just show me what the tag is.
Oh, yeah. It. Yeah.
And so he showed me, but then I think he started to wonder. And so he showed up and like, man, these go for like $150 on eBay. I should have there. And I didn't want to tell him, like, yeah, that's where it's going. Like that's, and I ended up selling it. It took a while, but we sold it for $125 on a shirt that was on Facebook for a week. Like, there's no way that should have sat there for a week.
No way. Yeah, but I mean, you never know. That's why I say, if you see something on there, and the more your eyes are on there, if it says, you know, a week or whatever, I mean, always shoot a message. Hey, is this still available? Again, man, I'm actually happy that I found this avenue of sourcing, because now when things open back up, there's going to be a little bit less eyes on Facebook Marketplace, so the competition is not going to be as high. But now I just know I have a solid way of sourcing without having to depend on the traditional ways, you know, at least for me. And I was so against Facebook Marketplace, but man, it's been awesome. It's been awesome.
So we're going to jump to your big find, but we do have, it's back here. We're going to do a giveaway before we run out of time. So we had things to give away. I got things from some resellers. When we hit 500, they either donated or I bought some stuff from them to give away. Well, I had 2 of them that I never heard back from our winner.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do this thing live. And the easiest thing is Mrs. Mountain Man is back there running the comments. My wife is back there taking care of that. So there she goes. She's gonna write a number down somewhere. I don't know. Show me 1 through what? I can see you in the green room. So 1 through what? I don't know. I'll tell her. Let 50. Okay. She's telling me 1 through 50. So the easiest thing to do, the easiest way to give this thing away. This is a mug. It's from the Joshes of Reseller. This is not made anymore. This is out of print. This is
Desktop.
from the lot of Josh. Josh Kim signed this, and from the Joshes of
Nice.
Reseller. So we're giving this thing away tonight. She wrote down a number. I watched her do it. So just start punching numbers into the chat. She's watching the chat. I can't see that. Oh, wait. I think I did. Show me the fingers. Okay. Yeah, I see it. So she's going to watch the chat coming through. So the first number that gets this right, you win. It's as easy as that. So now, babe, you're in charge of watching that. The first one, and then we'll get a hold of your you can send me a message on Instagram, and we'll get your address, and I'll ship this thing out to you. So, yeah, a lot of Josh. 1 through 50, just start punching numbers. And
simple enough, right?
Yeah, easy. And then we're going to keep talking. And I'm leaving that to my wife because she's the CFO. And, she says to put her on. Okay, well, I'll put her on. I find the stuff, and she takes care of the numbers.
No.
There she is.
No, I wasn't.
Did somebody?
No.
Yep.
Did somebody win?
On.
I wasn't saying. Well, I was saying put me on in the text, but I was doing another text to say if you wanted me to tell who won, not like right now.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay. Well, I haven't found who won, but I'll let you know.
Okay, we're gonna take her off. Okay. So, Calvin, tell me about, because we're talking Facebook Marketplace, and I think a lot of times, and people are right, like stuff vanishes quickly. Sometimes people, frankly, want too much. They don't understand what brand new means in my area. They say brand new, only won a few times. Like your shoes are not brand new if you only wore them a few times. But there's great stuff on there, and you found a Wii. And this is not just like a, hey, I found a Wii, in my entertainment. I thought I might get rid of it. Talk us through.
Yeah. So again, kind of just sticking to my routine. Is about probably 11 o'clock, and at night, and again, getting ready. Just lay down and get ready for bed. I scroll through Facebook Marketplace, and I seen within that hour, some lady had posted. She said brand new Wii in box, never been opened, and she also had an original PlayStation 2 with a couple of games, and so I messaged her right away, and I figured it was late, so I didn't hear any response. So I was like, I'm gonna set my alarm to get up real early just to make sure I'm on top of it, because as soon as I seen what they were selling for, she wanted 150, and as soon as I looked up the comp, what the hell is a brand new one? I know what the pre-owned one is going for because I had just sold 2 for crazy money. So I was like, let me look up the prices on a new one. And I looked up the prices, and I was like, I got to get, I cannot let no one get this. So I actually sold mine on the low end. But there was people listing theirs at $700, $800, $1,200. The recent solds were anywhere from $500 to $700. So I was like, I gotta get my hands on this thing. I cannot let this deal pass me up. So woke up first thing, it was like 6:30, and I seen I got a message from 6:07. Messaged her right away, and lo and behold, she was like, I got someone who's pending to come pick it up. So I was like, she was like, if they don't, I'm gonna message them right now. If they don't message me back, then I'll let you know. 10 minutes goes by, and she was like, hey, here's some more pictures of it. So once she started doing that, I knew it was available. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm interested in that PlayStation 2. And they wanted 50 for the PlayStation. I was like, would you take 175 for everything? And no, I asked, would you do 150 for everything, for the PlayStation and the Wii? And she was like, we'll do 175. And the PlayStation was just a throw-in. I didn't really care about it. But it was there. I said, if I can get it for a nice price, I'll take it. So I went, picked it up, listed it that night. And I cut myself short. But again, I'm afraid of the market. And I put 150 into one single item. Again, I'm nervous about money. So I'm like, I gotta sell this thing as quick as possible. So I listed it that night, and boom, probably within an hour, I get an offer, $450. And I messaged him back. I was like, look, I just listed it. the best I can do right now is $475. No questions asked. Boom, it's sold. It did take a day to pay it, and I was nervous about that. But yeah, $150, a little bit less if you average in the PlayStation with it, but $150 for that, and it sold for $475. I mean, that's just keeping my eyes on Facebook Marketplace. And once that deal happened, like I was hooked. I was hooked on the marketplace and keeping my eyes on there.
How tough is that to spend $150 on one thing?
It was tough. It was hard for the simple fact that, again, for one thing, I've never dropped that on one thing alone. And I was still, even though I had been selling the prior days, pre-owned ones for $150, and I seen what the comps were, you're still, again, I'm nervous. I'm nervous about spending money like that. So everything worked out, and it worked out. So I was nervous, but I was like, look, this is going to be an epic sale. And it's going to be something that you remember. The money's good, but it's the deals. It's the deals that you can find, and actually when you're actually purchasing a deal, that's actually a part of the adrenaline part of it as well.
How tough was the sell at home though? Going, no, seriously, I promise it's worth me spending $150 on.
Well, good thing. So my account, everything that is on eBay, it's all ran through my own business account and stuff like that. So whatever I do with that money and my eBay sales, like my wife is just like, get it, buy it, go ahead, go for it if you can make money. So that was we don't intermingle the funds from eBay to that, so that's a good thing. So whenever I want to go buy, I can buy. Yeah.
It looks like Cajun Reseller. Attaboy. You got the number, man. Is that right? Do I have a thumbs up? I think that was the number. Yeah. So, Chris, nice job, man. So I'm going to shoot me on Instagram, shoot me your mailing address, and I'll get this thing out to you. This is such a cool mug. So, and you've got Josh Kim on there.
Who won that?
Cajun Reseller got that.
Nice.
And he is that's cool because he is always in here. I sure appreciate that. Go subscribe to him, by the way, too. He did I see you put out a new video? I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen you put out a couple, and it's awesome that you're starting to put out YouTube videos. I think people will watch them. You know your stuff, man. So I want to see more videos from you. I think I just saw something on there from my mother-in-law, but it flashed off before I left. So I got the fam in here. I think my wife's in charge of the comments back there, actually, which is good because mine froze up. So StreamYard is not cooperating with me. Hey, there she goes. Yeah, hello to nurses from a sister nurse. It's a nurse and teacher week, so hello to all those special people. And last week was correctional officers week, I learned today. So
man. Shout out to them. Yeah.
But they deserve it. So
absolutely.
And Pam, thanks for coming in. I think that's awesome. I appreciate that. What's your favorite thing to sell, Calvin? I mean, is it what makes you money at this point, or is it something that you enjoy?
I can't really pinpoint to say I enjoy one thing. I guess I would just say the thing that's been consistent for me since I've started have been shoes. Shoes have always been a consistent seller for me. I can go in and I can kind of, there's probably some certain like brands, like women's shoes. I do a lot of women's shoes, but like certain designer brands I probably wouldn't know off the top of my head. But like most common shoes, I can tell when it's a common shoe. And then when I see something that's not common, like I'm pretty good at spotting those out. So I would say, the thing that's consistently for me making money are shoes. So I'm always big on shoes. Like whenever I go to the thrift stores, usually the first section I go to is the shoe section.
Yeah.
I'm always gravitating towards there. So, because you can find, usually the shoes that I get, for the most part, $30 sales on average,
Right.
And I'm getting them, typically no more than $4.50. So that's a solid flip for me. Garage sale shoes are always a lot cheaper. So I would say shoes because they're easy to list, easy to take photos of, and I have a system. When I know I got a pair of shoes to list, the system and how I do it is just pretty simple. So, but you know, obviously, since I've been doing real good with games lately, I mean, games are really easy to list, and I know the market's easy to ship. The market's not going to be what it is now, but games are one of those things that, you know, they're kind of that even flow.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
for newer
so
sellers, they're good because you can help build feedback off of games. Like I get good feedback on my games.
Definitely. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, shoes, games, but you know, I like anything I could find, you know, at the right price, and I know there's some profit there. That I like it. You know, I like anything. So
yeah.
Preferably.
So how about the other side of that? Like, is there stuff that you just like, even if you know there's money in it, that you're just like, man, I just don't buy it because I hate dealing with it?
Yeah. I would have to say probably combo units, like DVD, VCR combo units, like units like that.
Yeah.
It's starting to go away a little bit because the packing part of it was, you know, kind of in another ball game in itself. But now my packing in regards to those type of things are a lot better. The testing part of those things is probably the part that I hated the most. Because you got to set it up, you got to put the cables in, and find the DVD or VHS, and it's not difficult or anything. It's just like one of those things, I got to do all this, and then I got to go take pictures, and then I got to listen. With those things, especially when you're doing calculated shipping, like you do got to weigh it out before you, you know, as you're listening. You want to make sure you're getting the right measurements and weight, because you don't want the calculated shipping to come back and bite you. Like if it comes when it comes to shoes or games, I can kind of guesstimate what the weight is in dimensions, so I'm okay with that. But with heavier stuff like those units, you know, you got to that's another thing you got to do when you're listening. You got to get the right measurements, because you know, again, you don't want to bite yourself in the butt.
They're easy, right? Like video game, that's 6 ounces. Hat, that's 8 ounces. Shoes, that's 2
exactly.
pounds.
Yep.
Like,
absolutely.
We got a question. When you do Facebook Marketplace, do you meet in person or do you do a shipment with PayPal or Venmo?
Haven't done a shipment or any PayPal or electronic on Facebook. I meet up. Yeah, everything's been meet up. And usually you go to a couple houses, but usually people want to meet up somewhere at a kind of a neutral location, which I mean, it's always fine with me.
Yeah.
Especially when I got my kids, which I have all day long now. So I would rather not take them to someone's house. So meeting up at doing it a safe way, and not even in regards to like the virus, but just making sure that your surroundings, there's people there. And, you know, and I've heard stories, you know, for the most part, I think everyone's good, but there's stories where, you know, there's bad people and they try to set you up. So just meeting at a kind of a grocery store parking lot and stuff is always a good thing.
Exactly. I always meet at a grocery store near here when I buy or sell stuff on there. I'm like, hey, you know, because then you're sitting right there. There's a lot of people around, and there's a lot of cities now. I think a lot of people don't know the lobby of a police station is public. You can walk in there. Anybody can walk in there.
Yeah.
You can do deals in the lobby of the police station. And so, I mean, if you're really getting like this weird, creepy vibe off of somebody, you're like, and then it's like, okay, where do you want to meet? Meet across the street from the police station, or literally in the lobby of the police station. If it's a legit person, they're going to think you're weird, but they're going to meet there, right? So, you know, there are ways to do it safe. If you start feeling weird about it, but do it in, you know, I agree. Like I do it at the supermarket or the gas station.
Yeah. Usually that's where I go. Gas station.
Yeah. So,
all right, Sharon, thanks for coming. Sorry.
Yeah. See you, Sharon. We got 5 minutes left, and for all the folks, and there he is right there. For all the folks that are in here, Joey Bada Bing. Man, I got your message. It doesn't matter. I'm signing off at 7:01. I want to do a couple of Calvin, but coming up, Joey Bada Bing, his first live interview. I don't know why he interviews people every week. I don't know why, but at first, maybe. Yeah. We got the Tesla picker coming on.
It should be a good one.
Our show over on Joey's. So I don't know if Richard is still in here. Richard, I think you are. If you can drop a link to Joey's channel, or just go on YouTube, guys, and look up Joey Bada Bing 22. It's going to be a really good interview. You need to subscribe to him and to Tesla Picker. They're both fantastic. it's going to be a really, really good show. But we got a couple minutes left with Calvin. Where do you see eBay going for you, and where do you see YouTube going for you in the near future?
Yeah, man. I mean, everything for me is just trending upwards. With the eBay side of it, you know, I love doing YouTube, and I like creating content now. Yeah, that's something that that's something that I enjoy doing. It's very time consuming. That once you start getting into it, you gotta put in the work. With edits and kind of just to grow on your channel. Obviously, you got to engage with the community and build relationships, and that's the key. So you do have to put in the work at this time, but I always have to catch myself and think that eBay is my livelihood now. And although my wife, again, she got a promotion, so she's going to be making some pretty good money, and our expenses are really low, so I don't need to make too much. But I do want to. I want to scale. I want to grow a business, and I want to grow my eBay business to a point to where I can look back and just be like, not only is it fun, but I'm actually making really good money off of it. So yeah, I look to grow my eBay business, and obviously I look to grow my YouTube channel in the reselling niche, and maybe down the line get into other niches on YouTube and start other channels too. But one thing at a time. Again, this is the easiest kind of content to create, is because I'm doing eBay for a living. Mm-hmm. So the content is going to be there. It's been a little harder nowadays. Of course, you got to get creative, and you got to think of stuff to do, because typically you could always go source, and that's content right there in itself, and things like that. But yeah, no. So I just always got to keep telling myself that eBay is the number one priority. And but YouTube is just, again, you put a camera out while you're doing stuff, and that kind of just follows you. So it's not too big of a deal. Well,
you're good at it. You're getting better at it. And
yeah, man, I appreciate that.
I enjoy watching your stuff. I'm still learning too, but I've only been doing this since December. So
YouTube.
Yeah. Mid-December when you started.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You got to be learning every day. I try to learn something new every day, whether if it's a way to grow my YouTube channel or a new item I can source for. It's like I constantly try to learn new things in regards to the business that I'm running. I don't really venture off into stuff that the general knowledge stuff is cool, but I try to use my sources to learn things that apply to my daily life and helping my business and my YouTube out. So, but yeah, no, it's a constant process of learning. 10 years down the road, there's always going to be something new. So we're always going to be having to learn something, as we go. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to let you go, Calvin, for the folks that
yes, sir.
Using a few, because I hope they're going over to Joey's channel. But next week, guys, you do not want to miss next week. I think it's okay to announce this. I haven't heard otherwise. So next week, I don't know if you guys know, you should know, the Commonwealth Flipper. We haven't got him yet, but if you watch his channel, they have started really working with his daughter to take charge and do some charity stuff. They sold a whole bunch of mugs. I think they sold out like right away of these things. I was lucky enough to get one. All of the profits off of those, $1 went to his daughter because she packed and sent them all out. The rest after cost went to St. Jude, and they wrote a big check to St. Jude. Nice. Reagan is going to be on our show next week. We're going to talk with the CEO of CommonwealthPicker.com, because they've got big stuff coming. It's really cool. She helps run her own eBay store. She's an elementary school kid. And she's getting into this stuff. She's learning from her dad. And we actually have some cool auction maybe news about another giveaway. There's going to be some cool cross-promotional stuff with Kevin over at the Commonwealth Picker. So please show up next week. Show Reagan some love. She's a kid coming on live on an interview on YouTube. It takes some guts to sit in the chair and do that. So I'd appreciate if you guys show up next week. So that's the big announcement. Calvin, thanks for coming in, man. I sure appreciate it tonight.
Nah, I appreciate you having me on, Troy, man. It was awesome. I felt people were engaged, and it was good. Got a good crowd going. So, yeah, man, it was fun.
Yeah, go catch Calvin on his channel. He's also live Tuesday night, tomorrow night, with Kat, the Nurse Flipper, on her channel, along with Chris as well. And then you randomly sprinkle other folks in there. So,
I don't know. She hasn't told me who's coming on tomorrow, but yeah, me, Kat, Flip with Chris.
Yeah, it's going to be real good. So go see them. I've got something dropping tomorrow morning, I think, if I can get it edited together tonight. So tomorrow morning, like usually it's 11:15 Eastern is when I drop those. So guys, thanks for coming in. I sure appreciate it. And that's it. We're going to go, and everybody's going to shoot on over to Joey Bada Bing 22.
Yes, sir. See everyone there.